No man's slave, Kobojo was born where the Niger River bends like a thoughtful arm, in a village that knew the beat of drums at dusk and the smell of the rain on the red earth. His name alone meant born into strength, and it was everything he believed. The night he was taken, it was not strangers who seized him, but the African men who spoke the same language and wore familiar scars. They came with iron and human goods, trading bodies for cloth, guns, and promises that would rot by greed morning to evening, and eventually eat the country away, bound and marched to the coast where the ships of merchants awaited. Kobojo learned a bitter truth. Chains do not always arrive from across the sea. Sometimes they are put on you by the very people that are like you. At the fort, he was sold again, this time to a white slave merchant named Daniel Lawrence, a man with pale eyes and a ledger that measured lives in ink and profit. Lawrence barely looked at Kobojo as he marked him down, as if simply taking inventory of a barrel of gunpowder. The slave ship groaned and creaked like a wounded beast as it crossed the ocean's waves. Below deck, darkness and the stench loomed for days. Meanwhile, Kobojo counted his breaths instead of time, memorizing the creak of boards, the rhythm of waves, and the guard's footsteps. Hope was dangerous, but so was surrender. He was coming up with a plan. When the ship finally reached the American shore, fog clung low to the water, and the moist smell of land slipped through the cracks of the ship's hull. As anchors dropped with a splash and the chaos of others stirred above, Kobojo felt the moment arrive. Not announced, not gentle, but certain. He would not be anyone's slave. That night, during the confusion of unloading, he slipped his cuffs on a jagged nail he had hidden for weeks. Quiet as a shadow, he climbed into a nook where the guards would not look. When all were busy, he crept into a hole leading to the cold water. Although shivering, he waited into the hours until the ship was vacated and the surroundings had lightened. He once again thought, "I am no one's slave." When the darkness fell and the noise dampened, he swam until his lungs burned, and the little chaos left behind him dissolved into wind. Following the direction of the stars, he swam away from the vessel of capture. He crawled onto the shore before the dawn sun began to rise, trembling, alive, and undeclared on any port of arrival ledger. Kobojo refused to be shackled in anyone's chains. He tracked through paths through the foreign forests, using any sound to guide him. His name remained his own, carried forward like a small flame no ocean could extinguish. He had crossed the world in captivity, but he stepped into freedom by his own will. And that, he believed, was the truest journey of all. Kobojo had heard stories about pockets of freedom in the countries of his captors. He knew he had landed on the shores of America. His journey went from one day to many, and the Northern Star was his guiding light. As the days went on, he cut spears out of sticks and foraged for food and ate what nature provided for him. There was even one point that he came across and Native American tribesman. Although very leery, the man reminded him of the people back home. This man provided Kobojo with hospitality, tools, and goods on his journey to freedom. But in the end, he had yet to encounter his most strange and frightening encounter. The day a white man had approached him as he crept through a cornfield. Kobojo was terrified and on defense, spear in one hand and a collection of survival goods, ready to be dropped on the ground in an approach to fight and defend himself. but it didn't turn out anything like he had suspected. The man began to speak and slowly approached. He peacefully introduced himself with his hand out. "I am Roberto Dell," he slowly said. He said once again, "Roberto." In response, Kobojo put his head up and stood as upright as he could. He poked his pointer finger into his chest and pointed at himself. "Kobojo," he said, upon that greeting and signs of friendly alliance. Kobojo knew he was no one's slave, and with his great escape and thirst for survival, Kobojo was never anyone's slave.